Bottling cocktails is a technique that every home bartender needs to know. I'm Brian Johnson, and in this episode of Better Cocktails at Home, we're going to be bottling a cocktail. In this case, it's the Adonis cocktail, but I think really the focus of the video should be about bottling cocktails. And so you can really pre-bottle a ton of different cocktails, and it's an excellent technique as a home bartender you should have in your arsenal, because it's going to really help you do a lot of things and accomplish a lot of stuff. So I usually mix in like a pitcher type thing. Makes it easy. You can use your standard jigger if you want to measure stuff out, but when you're using larger amounts, it's easier to use like a 1 or 2 cup container to measure it. It just makes it go faster. And then the thing is, so if you're using a 750 milliliter bottle to put it into, it's about 25 to 26 ounces or so. So if you want to fill the whole thing up, that's kind of what you're aiming for, is total volume of liquid. But obviously if you want to only fill half of it, you can. It's totally up to you. I'm going to aim for filling most of a 750 milliliter. So the Adonis is an old cocktail. It's a dry sherry and sweet vermouth cocktail, a little bit orange bitters. And so I've seen some recipes call for equal parts, like 1-to-1 basically of dry sherry to sweet vermouth. I'm going to do 2-to-1 dry sherry to sweet vermouth just because it's a little bit more, I just like it that way. And so I'm going to do about probably 16 ounces of, so I'm using Lestow's dry Amontillado, and add that to our measuring cup. All right, and we want to add that in here. Now I'm going to add the sweet vermouth here. I'm using Dolin. And I'm going to do about 8 ounces of this. And now we're going to add that. And then finally, this cocktail calls for orange bitters. And so I'm going to go ahead and add about 12 dashes or so. All right. Now, obviously, we're not going to add our ice at this point, because when you bottle a cocktail, you want to do it just the alcoholic ingredients, basically bitters, spirits, fortified wine, that kind of thing. And then once the time comes to serve it, you just measure out, 2.5 ounces or 2 ounces, however you want over ice, and then stir it up then. So I'm going to mix this just to kind of combine it. Give it a quick taste. Yeah, I've always liked this cocktail. I think it's just, it's low proof, but I think it's got some interesting flavors. I love dry sherry, that nuttiness you get. All right, so I have my bottle here, all ready to receive the liquid. If you have a funnel, it makes it a little bit easier. And then just go ahead and strain it in. And, put the cap on. And you have a pre-bottled cocktail. Now, because the Adonis is based on, dry sherry and sweet vermouth, which are wine-based, you're going to want to store this in the fridge until you've used it all up. If you're doing all spirit-based cocktail like a martini or a Manhattan, something like that, or an Alaska, you could just store that room temperature because it's all spirit and it won't go bad, so you'll be safe. But yeah, always when you're through a bottle of spirits, always keep the old bottle so you can use some things like this. But that's how you bottle a cocktail, and in this case, the Adonis.